Red, White and Royal Blue, the movie, comes out in less than an hour. I am freaking out. I thought I would just capture some final thoughts before I watch the movie. I decided last night to start a reread. I'm about halfway through. I knew I wouldn't finish in time, but I can't believe that I'm gonna see this movie. A bunch of reviews have come out and a lot of them are really positive. A photo was released last night and I was about to put my phone down and go to sleep. And it's from the airstrip and it's, oh my god, I want to cry even thinking about it. It's Alex giving Henry the key on the chain. So it's like they're gonna trade. Rather than them both staying with Alex, they trade and it's like a promise and I just, I'm really excited. There have been so many little clips and photos dropped lately and I can't believe the movie's coming out. Like, this is not me trying to be like, I was there first, but like, waiting 4 years for this moment has been wild. Like, I read the book in September of 2019 and now we're here. I feel like when news of the movie was coming out, I was really skeptical, but some of the stuff coming out recently is putting me at ease, which is really weird. I'm not used to feeling like good about adaptations, but I have seen some of Nick's work before and I enjoyed it. Handsome Devil is one of my favorite movies, and so I trust that he can like do justice to a character. I'm not familiar with any of Taylor's work, but apparently he read the book like 7 or 8 times, so I feel like he would have an understanding of Alex as a character, and I'm just very excited. I don't know what to do with the next like 45 minutes of my life before the movie starts. Like, I can't do anything except wait, but yeah, I'm not gonna be reacting, I don't think. Maybe a few clips here and there, but I just need to watch it and enjoy it. I will be taking notes because I do that whenever I watch anything new, but yes, I'm very excited. I'm very nervous. Also, yesterday was History Day. Like, A Mass of Fools and Knaves was sent on the 10th of August. And I know that in a lot of countries, the movie's being released on the 10th of August. It's not here. Today is the 11th. It's happening. But yes, history, bet we could make some. I'm gonna go and I guess just mess around for 45 minutes until the movie starts. I'm so excited. There are 15 minutes. I am kind of shaking. It's so silly. It's just a movie. It is just a movie, but it's not just a movie. This is my favorite book. This is a story I've loved for years. Look at them. Just, they're right there. They are right there. I feel the need to ramble on until the movie starts, so bear with me. I'm really surprised that it's been rated M in Australia. So in America it's R. So I assumed that would be an MA in Australia, which is like 15 plus. But if it's only M, then I'm assuming it's all very like fade to black. I'm assuming it's not very explicit in any way. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Oh, I'm about to be so insufferable. Seriously, when the trailer dropped, I talked my friend's ear off. Literally, like the 10 hours we spent together that day, I was talking for most of them about the trailer and about the book. So I'm only gonna get worse from here. Also, my cat is here. Part of me wishes the movie was coming out tonight so I could be like, I don't know, have more of a watch party situation. Instead, I thought I'd show you my my setup right now. So, I have iced coffee because it's still the morning and I'm still having my coffee. I have water because I feel like I'm gonna need to be hydrated. I feel like I'm gonna cry. I have my copy of Red, White and Royal Blue. I don't think I'll be flipping through it the first watch through, but I am gonna watch this movie more than once today. I can tell you that for sure. And I will be flipping through on the second watch to like find the scenes and things. But maybe the most important thing I have with me here. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Why am I gonna throw up? Oh my god. Oh my god. my
There's
god.
a storybook ceremony today inside Westminster Abbey.
Oh my
The
god.
future King of England, Prince Philip,
Oh my
Duke
god.
of Cambridge. Thousands came
Oh
to
my
cheer
god.
the couple
Henry.
and to cheer the prince's younger brother, Prince Henry, their younger sister, Princess Beatrice.
They've made her
who all the
younger.
world adores. The wedding reception boasts.
Oh my god. That's a man that's about to cause problems. I can't believe I've watched it. I can't believe I've seen it. Oh my god. Hello, it's time to talk about the Red, White and Royal Blue movie. Right now I'm just going to tell you my kind of initial thoughts, and then later I'll go into, I guess, more depth. But for now, I'm going to say it was an enjoyable movie, but not a great adaptation. That's not to say I didn't enjoy it. That's not to say I think people did necessarily a bad job. It just wasn't a very accurate adaptation, which is okay. That's allowed. The movie itself was enjoyable. It was fun. It was a rom-com. But one of the things that took away from like the adaptation side, and I think made it a weaker movie overall, is the fact that there isn't really any plot aside from the romance. Like all of that was taken out. So yeah, let's just jump into it. I took like many notes watching it for the first time, so let's talk. I've watched it 3 times at this point, and I enjoyed it thoroughly every time, but I couldn't help but notice all the things that were missing and the holes in the story that those missing pieces created. Sorry if I look like a bit of a mess, I just got home. My notes are very out of order, very much just what I was thinking at the time, but I like that Bea was younger than Henry in the movie. In the book, Henry's the youngest sibling, but he carries a lot of like weight in the fact that he is an heir, and he calls himself the spare, but like he's the spare's spare in the book, so I like that he is like the actual spare in the movie. I loved how like early 2000s rom-com it felt, with like the kind of title sequence and everything. Like it felt like a rom-com, which was lovely. I think Uma Thurman was a great Ellen. I enjoyed her performance. I thought Zara was maybe like the standout character in the movie. I think she's incredible. I love her. Amy was also done really well. I kind of knew it would happen in the adaptation, but Amy and Cash were kind of tied into one character, which makes sense for an adaptation. What makes less sense is Nora and June being made into one character. Also, I feel like you can't even say that Liam and Pez were made into one character of Miguel, because Miguel wasn't really any part Liam or Raph. He was his own new character. But taking those two out did leave some large, glaring holes in the plot. They changed the meeting in Rio to a meeting in Melbourne at a climate conference, which was quite entertaining to me as someone who lives in Melbourne. Just hearing it, it was very jarring to be like, wait, why are you talking about Melbourne right now? But that's a very simple change that doesn't affect the story. Whether they're meeting at the Olympics or at a climate summit, it doesn't matter. There was one scene in particular, I think it was when they were in the supply room at the hospital, where Nick's acting reminded me a lot of his role in Handsome Devil, which came out in like 2016, way back. But there was just like that character felt like it was coming through somehow. I don't really know why. I think one of my problems with the movie was that it touched on things from the book, but then was either like completely surface level or changed them in ways that didn't feel like it made much sense. The turkey scene, for example, was something so many people were excited about, and then I feel like the turkey scene didn't actually happen. There was just a scene that had a turkey in it. There wasn't the conversation, it wasn't this kind of like bonding moment, there wasn't, you know, this growth. It was just another scene. I have to say I was very entertained in the Red Room scene when Amy walked in. I found it a bit weird. Amy knew what was happening, but she still fully like walked in. Okay, sure. But I thought it was entertaining that Henry tried to make it out like he was just looking at a bookshelf. That scene, it was just quite funny. I think this movie pulled off a lot of humour. it just sometimes felt a little bit weird. I think the way that the polo scene was cut together was actually really good and fun, but I feel like the romance happened too quickly. Changing the story for Alex to have already kind of understood himself before this thing with Henry just kind of meant that he allowed himself to feel a lot more for Henry a lot earlier, and that changes a lot of the story. Having Alex be the one pursuing the romance, it changes a lot. I think Stephen Fry as the king was kind of iconic. I do think he was a bit too lenient, like he gave up really quickly. I really thought Catherine was gonna walk in at one point, the doors swing open, and then it wasn't her, it was just like a royal attendant. Basically from the lake house, once Henry leaves, the rest of the movie felt very loose and like it was hanging on by a thread. It felt almost like surface level. I think maybe it was going too fast, and so there wasn't time to really like build up emotion. I have a lot of problems with a few of the last scenes. The fact that Alex does his speech before talking to Henry and before having the Crown's permission. That just doesn't make sense. First, Alex wouldn't do something that big without talking to Henry. And second, he signed an NDA and it's literally illegal for him to do this, and he's too smart as a politician to do that. The fact that in the movie it seems like he is just the president's son, he isn't really working for the campaign until he's sent to Texas, I think that changes a lot of things. In the book, he has a politician's brain. He is able to like do everything by the book in a way. And so like he would never have done that speech because he knows the trouble it will cause. I loved the scene when Zara walked in the morning of the DNC. Again, I think Zara was one of the standouts of this movie. I think Taylor played Alex quite well. I heard that he read the book quite a few times, and I think that he had an understanding of Alex as a character, and I think Nick had a grasp on Henry as well, but I think the script didn't allow those characters to really like work super well. I don't love the change of the V&A. Like, I am so glad that they included that scene, but it was weird for it to be like a part of the discussion of like Henry's way of proving his feelings during the kind of argument discussion. In the book, it happens the next day, they have their discussion, and then they kind of make up, and then that's Henry showing Alex this part of himself in the same way that Alex took Henry to Texas. So I had heard that the movie was going to be in Henry's point of view at the end. I don't like the way it was done. I hate to say it. Having Henry's point of view when the emails leak, it felt so surface level. Like, there just wasn't enough development of that. We didn't see many emails, and what we did see, none of it was very like personal, I guess. There weren't these like deepest, darkest secrets kind of being shared. I don't really know how to put my thoughts into words about that, but I think that because the book was from Alex's point of view and him kind of having that political side, I know obviously Henry has the like monarchy side of it, but the movie kind of brushed over everything. He just kind of was existing in the palace still. Like, he wasn't really, like, not much really happened. I think we all knew that Luna not being in the plot would change the ending quite a bit, but having Miguel, this random reporter, just like leaking it doesn't explain how he got access to the emails, really. Like, it just doesn't, it's not the same as Richard's specifically doing this as like a smear campaign. And like, again, it just felt like not that deep. I don't know how else to explain it. Also, because we didn't see many emails, we heard that there were a bunch of emails but didn't see many. Calling them the Waterloo letters didn't mean much because like we didn't see that. I didn't love that Alex did his speech without talking to Henry or the Crown or anyone really, but I think the speech was really beautiful. It wasn't the same speech as the book. Obviously by this point the context is different, it is a different speech, but there was one part of it in particular that wasn't in the book, and I just thought it was wonderful and honestly very timely and necessary right now for people to hear. One thing that really drew my focus was when they were sitting together meeting with the king. You can see Alex wearing an Apple Watch and Henry wearing like a traditional kind of old style watch, and I don't know why, but my mind has really like clung to that idea of like the differences between them, the kind of tradition that Henry carries, and the kind of like new ideas that Alex brings. I don't know, I want to write like an essay about it. One thing that happened a lot in the movie is them in front of windows. They would just make out in front of windows, they would do more than making out in front of windows, and I just kept waiting for like the shoe to drop, you know? Like in the book, the reason it all comes out, other than the emails, is the photo through the car, through the windscreen. So like they were in front of windows all the time and I was really worried for them. I loved Casey's cameo. They were Alan's speechwriter. I thought that was just like a nice touch. But also in the book, that was meant to kind of be like June's role. So like, is Casey June? We'll never know. I was really hoping we'd get like the whole like Lake LBJ blue thing and like seeing Texas finally flood like beautiful LBJ blue or whatever, but didn't happen. They were in another room. That's the thing. That last scene felt really disconnected because everyone was like separate. When it's, you know, in that last minute, you're probably going to be like focusing and paying attention, but they weren't. It's fine, whatever. I was hoping we'd see Sean and Zara together at the end. We did not, but they were together technically, so there's that. I liked seeing them go to Alex's house at the end. That was sweet, but it all just felt, I don't know. It felt like something was missing. I know I've just talked a bunch about like what I didn't like about the movie, but I did enjoy the movie. I'm just coming at this from a fan of the book's perspective and looking at the movie as an adaptation. So if you're a huge fan of the movie, please know I did enjoy it. I'm just talking about what was in the book and what wasn't in the movie and the ways that I think the movie may have suffered for that. I swear I don't hate the movie. At the end of my notes, I do have a list of things that weren't included. So I'm gonna run through them really quickly just because they were things that it felt weird for them to not be there, a lot of them. First up, the cornetto scene was in the trailer, was not in the movie. There was also, I don't know if it was in the trailer or one of the photos released, a scene that seemed to be at Kensington over like breakfast or something. Was not there. We know it was filmed and it just never happened. I don't know. I can't believe the cornetto scene wasn't in the movie. I bought cornettos specifically for the movie, but it didn't happen, so oh well. No Powder Princess plotline. Because I think there was no emphasis on the emails, we lost so much. And because the movie seemed to kind of push away any plot that wasn't Alex and Henry, we did not get Bee's backstory. She's just like a perfect princess in this, which is fine, but where's the depth? We did not get Richard setting them up, I mentioned that before. Richard's was just a political opponent. We didn't get the history between him and Luna, we didn't get the like youth congress program or whatever it was called that he was setting up. We didn't get him literally like organizing a smear campaign following around the first family. We didn't get, oh this one upset me, we didn't get the historic letters. Again, we didn't get much from the emails, so we didn't get them using pieces of history to, I guess, communicate their feelings when they weren't ready to, I guess, use their own words. There was no talk of Hamilton. There were none of, so many of my like favorite quotes are from the historic letters and they just didn't happen, and I think that's what made History feel less impactful. There hadn't really been much talk of history or legacy up until that point, and so it just felt a little watered down. Catherine was not in the movie, unfortunately. She was mentioned, but the grief wasn't mentioned. That's the thing. The movie really like grazed over Henry's grief, other than that time they first met, which felt strange because it's such a big part of his character. Similarly, Ellen and Oscar weren't divorced, and there was an actual conversation about how strong they are together or something, and I was just like, why? I think it made Alex a less compelling character because like this huge thing that he, you know, thought about a lot. The idea that he isn't either of his parents and doesn't think he can ever live up to that, and the effects of like their divorce, it's not a thing in the movie, and it felt weird. There was no mention of Star Wars, which is fine, but I think it was like a nice little bonding moment for them. Wimbledon didn't happen, which I kind of get. I feel like that would have been like a bit hard for them to film maybe, but you know, it's just one of those scenes that was like kind of iconic. As well as LA. I guess it kind of happened in Texas. That whole Texas thing felt very strange to me. And there was no mention of the brownstone. So those are the things that are on my list right now. I'm an idiot and have been sitting on my knees that whole time rather than just lowering my tripod, and now my legs are aching. So yeah, I guess they left a lot out of the movie. Obviously, because it's 2 hours to turn... Hello? What are you doing? I understand that things are going to be left out when an adaptation is made, but this felt like a lot of things were like purposefully done. They were like creative choices that kind of harmed the story. I'm gonna stop talking for now because this has been long. This has not been like an actual like review properly. This was just like initial thoughts. I'm gonna have to watch it more to properly gather my thoughts, and I'll probably end up writing like a proper review and sitting down and talking about it, but for now, those were my thoughts. I know it sounds like I hated it, but I didn't. It was a good movie. It was cute, it was camp, it was like romantic and sweet, but it wasn't like this Red, White and Royal Blue. That's one thing I was saying talking to a friend, because we watched it together and we're kind of discussing it, and the movie hasn't changed the way I see the book. Like when I read the book, I'm not picturing the movie, which I think shows how different they are. That's the thing. They are not connected to me. So this is me talking about how they are different, because in my mind they are separate things because they are so different. But yes, I'm gonna stop talking for now. This was meant to just be a quick bit of me talking about initial thoughts, and then we'd jump into the full kind of review, but this is now like the whole video and the review will come later. Overall, good and fine movie, not great adaptation. I still prefer the book, but yeah, I do recommend watching it. It was good fun, but yeah. Okay, I guess I am ending it here, so I better say goodbye. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, you can give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you thought of the movie down below. I upload every week, so you can subscribe to see my future videos, and I will see you next time. Bye.